Hey, what's up, Spencer? My name is everybody, and welcome back to my channel. 2007 was a formative year for Disney Channel movies. We had High School Musical 2, Twitches 2, Johnny Capahala back on board, a great year for sequels. But the best movie to come from the Disney Channel this year was by far Jump In, starring the beloved Corbin Bleu and the adorable Keke Palmer. You know, it's been almost 2 whole decades since this movie came out. I wonder what those two are up to. Oh, cool. It looks like Corbin is having a great time reconnecting with his childhood. Now let's see what Keke's doing. Keke Palmer defends Angela Simmons over controversial post with Oreo-filled bathtub. Wait, what? Angela Simmons is at the center of controversy again after posting a video on Instagram in which she's lounging in a bathtub filled with Oreos. This post is a promotion for the TV personality's vegan dessert brand Angela's Cakes in collaboration with the Black-owned restaurant Slutty Vegan. The video was intended to drum up excitement for the eatery's new vegan fried Oreos. Instead, it drew sharp criticism from social media users. Why in the tub though, for real? Her marketing team should be fired. Girl, you wasted all them damn Oreos, they better not be double stuffed. Wait. People are mad that a lady took pictures of herself with Oreos in a bathtub? Okay, I guess. Jump In is a fabulous movie, focusing on a boy who does a typically masculine activity until a girl that he likes convinces him to do a typically feminine activity. An activity that he somehow excels at immediately despite having never done it before. Originally, his family and community ostracize him for doing this traditionally feminine activity, but once he succeeds at doing it, he gains the love and adoration of everyone in his life. Yeah, I guess the Disney Channel saw how much money they made off of High School Musical and figured that was a good formula to go with. Which, they were right. When this movie originally came out in 2007, 13-year-old me and my little 10-year-old sister got so into Double Dutch. Except, you kinda need 3 people to do Double Dutch, and there were only 2 of us, and we only had single-person jump ropes, so they weren't really long enough to do Double Dutch with. We tried to fix this problem by tying a bunch of jump ropes together and tying one end to a tree so that one of us could jump while the other one swang the ropes, but anytime we missed, the giant knot of plastic handles we had made would smack into our shins and create these massive bruises, so yeah, that only lasted about a week or so. Rewatching this movie was actually a pretty fun experience. I didn't really have that moment where I went back to something that I enjoyed as a kid and found out that actually it sucks. I'm not saying this is the best movie in the world, but I think that it holds up pretty well for what I remembered it to be. I'm also somebody who really likes watching movies that have some sort of like dance or competition number in it because I think watching the final number that they worked so hard on is really interesting and fun. And this movie has a really long final number. It's actually like 2 final numbers put together. They like stop double dutching and just start dancing at one point, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't a dance competition, this is a jump rope competition. But yeah, it was a long, fun, enjoyable final number. I also think that if I am watching a movie that is based on a specific activity and by the end of the movie I myself want to go out and try that activity, then that means that they did a good job of portraying the activity because clearly they showed it to be a really fun and exciting thing that now I myself want to try out. Like, I used to not really be into sports at all, but after watching Haikyuu, it made me really interested in volleyball, and now I really enjoy watching it. I myself can't play volleyball because of a previous injury, but I find it a lot more enjoyable now that I've watched this show about volleyball. But this isn't a video about Haikyuu, so without further ado, let's jump into the movie. Look, what do you want from me? I am not a professional comedian. If you throw me a softball, I'm gonna swing for it. So this movie starts out with our main character, Izzy, doing a bunch of training in his dad's boxing gym, and I've never trained for boxing before, but I kind of feel like all of the backflips and shit that Izzy is doing isn't a part of boxing. Now, as Izzy is doing his best Simone Biles impersonation down the street, he stops and he comes across this girl named Mary and her friends who are doing double dutch, and because girls icky and jump rope dumb, he has to go over and ruin their fun.
Izzy!
Mary!
Get out!
Make me.
Now, we are less than 3 minutes into this movie and already we are going to establish a parental death. That's right, Izzy's mom is dead, and even though they mention it several times throughout this movie, we never really get any information or details about his mom's death. Like, we have no idea how she died, and we really don't know how long ago she died. We do see a picture really quick at one point in the movie that looked like it was taken fairly recently, but like, did she die 6 months ago, 2 months, a week ago? We have absolutely no idea. And you know what? It really doesn't matter because look, Dad tried cooking dinner and he messed it up. Oh, and now he's trying to do his daughter hair, but he did it really badly. Isn't that so funny? Penis make it so ponytail can't make. You know, we see this trope a lot in media where the mom has passed away or left for some reason and now the dad is like completely fumbling and failing at being a single parent. But I think it would be more heart-wrenching if the dad was actually very good at doing all of this household stuff and the kids ended up becoming resentful towards him because of it. Like, maybe he is able to do this really complex hairstyle that the mom used to do, but it's not the same because maybe the mom used to sing a special song while she was doing it with the daughter. Or perhaps the dad is actually really good at cooking and the kids miss the way that the mom used to mess up or burn food all the time. The dad is just perfectly able to take care of the kids and school and work and is able to manage juggling everything, and the kids become angry and resentful towards him because it feels like they are able to live without mom when that isn't the way that it should be. They should be missing her. They should be falling apart. They should be struggling to adapt without her. But the fact that they're not is something that makes it so much harder to deal with. Ugh, that would just be so much more heart-wrenching than, man, dumb. So the current thing that is going on in Izzy's life is that he's training for a boxing competition called the Golden Gloves, except he just needs to win one more fight to get there. And this is the point in the movie in which we meet a character named Tammy, who really only shows up one more time, but she is technically like important to the movie, and she is the only girl boxer in the gym, and because it's 2007, she gets made fun of for it.
You ready for what? There ain't no ballet classes around here.
Good, because I can already dance around the ring better than you.
Except Izzy's friend Chuck also likes Tammy, but for some reason the other friend is upset that he likes Tammy.
What's up, Tammy?
Hey, Chuck.
Hi. What? I'm just being polite, man. I'm gonna be sick.
Ugh, come on man, you like a girl? What are you, like gay or something? The next day, Izzy is preparing to go to the movies with his friends when there is a leak in the gym, meaning the dad has to go and take care of it, leaving Izzy to take care of his younger sister, Karen. And because Izzy's dad was going to take Karen to the double dutch competition, that means now Izzy has to take Karen to the double dutch competition and has to skip out on the movies. And on the way to the competition, they run into a character named Rodney. Rodney is the bully character of this movie, and he's also the guy that Izzy needs to fight in order to move on to the Golden Gloves, so there is a lot of tension between them. Maybe kissing would ease some of that tension. What? Who said that? Once we get to the double dutch competition, we run back into Mary and the group of girls that we saw at the beginning of the movie because it turns out they are a double dutch team called the Joy Jumpers. And because this wouldn't really be a sports movie without a rival team, we are also introduced to a team called the Dutch Dragons. I have no idea what these girls' names are, and I'm pretty sure that they never tell us what these girls' names are, and they actually are a really inconsequential part of this movie, so it doesn't matter at all. Now we get to watch some double dutching for the first time in this movie, and oh boy, I love watching scenes like this because they do some really cool tricks. I said do. Izzy is clearly getting into the competition, but he has to pretend like he isn't because jump rope for girl and he boy.
at him.
Now, this is something that they do many times throughout the movie, where Izzy is really concerned about people finding out that he's doing double dutch because jump roping is a girl activity. And I would be more on board with this if we didn't see several other boys double dutching several times throughout this movie. I mean, they even have an all-boy double dutch team. Clearly, this sport is more mixed gendered than we are being led to believe. At the end of the competition, the Joy Jumpers get 4th place, which is good enough to move them up to the next level of competition, but obviously isn't a very good place to be. And one girl in the group is so upset about their low placement that she just flat out quits the team, which is going to be an issue for the Joy Jumpers because you need 4 people to compete. Now, when this first happened, I was so confused because I was like, wait a minute. You want to win, but now you quit the team, which means that you can't compete at all, so how are you supposed to win at all? But then later we find out that she did join the Dutch Dragons, but they already had 4 people, so I don't know how she would have done that. Movie logic. Right after this, we get a really short scene where Izzy sees Rodney in the hallway after school, where a teacher is very loudly and expositionally saying, "Oh, Rodney, I'm so sorry that you're poor and your dad is unemployed. Here's a bag of clothes because you're so poor and unemployed."
Now, Rodney, don't be embarrassed. Your dad's having a hard time and people just want to help.
Rodney was the toughest guy in the ring and the schoolyard.
Thanks.
Now you let me know if the clothes don't fit.
Okay, Miss Roberts.
Okay.
But at home, he was just a poor kid with problems.
And clearly this scene is supposed to make us feel for Rodney and make us go, Rodney isn't a bully because he's a bad person. He's a bully because he's had a bad home life. Hurt people hurt people. For some reason, learning about Rodney's personal life completely throws Izzy so much that he almost loses the boxing competition. Almost, not quite. He does win it, but barely. Which means that he is gonna go on to the Golden Gloves, which you do not need to care about at all because that never comes up at any point in the rest of this movie, so cool, I'm so glad that he did that, I guess. Now, Mary and the girls are in trouble because they are unable to find a 4th person to join their team for the next level of competition. And this is when you can tell that this movie was made in 2007 because there's no way that this joke would be put into a kid's movie now.
Hey, don't jump. It can't be that bad.
Now, after a bunch of back and forth, Mary and the girls are able to convince Izzy to join the Double Dutch team temporarily while they continue to look for somebody to join the team. So they start practicing early in the morning at Izzy's dad's boxing gym so that nobody sees Izzy doing Double Dutch. Except they also practice outside in the middle of the streets out in front of their house. So I don't know the logic behind that one, but sure. As a consequence for getting up early and doing more double dutch, Izzy is now completely incapable of functioning in school or boxing or do anything at all. He's just so tired. And as somebody who is already doing a pretty high level of physical activity, I don't think that adding jump rope on top of it would destroy him the way that it seems to in the movie, but okay, I guess. For some reason, double dutch is ruining every aspect of Izzy's life. Oh no, how horrible. Now there is some conflict among the Joy Jumpers about their routine because they want to do better, but they also don't really know what to do to make it better. And while out on a run, Izzy comes across a couple of street double dutchers and is enamored with their moves. So Izzy and the girls decide to start doing more street double dutch, which would be cool and revolutionary if the street double dutch people weren't doing the same moves that we already saw earlier in the movie, so it doesn't actually feel all that transformative and new, but okay, sure. So Izzy and Mary live next door to each other, and even though the houses don't super make sense, their fire escapes are connected to each other. And so that means that there are several scenes in which Izzy and Mary are talking on the fire escape, and while they do, they kind of fall in love. And I gotta admit, I thought that it was kind of cute. I like them.
Boxing's all my dad really has.
No, he has you.
Corny much?
I'm just saying.
Thanks. It's just not that easy.
Now, for some reason, even though things are going really well with Mary and the Joy Jumpers, Izzy decides that he's going to screw everybody over and fails to show up to a competition that they signed up for, like an additional competition that they signed up for, just so that he can go to a boxing match that his dad springed on him at the last second. Now, obviously, this causes a lot of conflict between him and Mary and the girls, and I think that this part would have made more sense if it had come after what happens next, because Izzy and the girls are still practicing a whole bunch, and Rodney comes across them one day and takes pictures of Izzy doing double dutch and then prints them out on a bunch of pieces of pink paper and spreads them all around the school for everybody to see. And when everybody sees it, they point and laugh at him in a way that would only happen in a movie. Like, I don't think that this is the way that things work in school. Like, if you spread something all over a school, like papers like this, I'm pretty sure that like 95% of the school population actually wouldn't really care. It would probably go more something like this. Dude, I cannot believe that you made me watch that video. That was absolutely disgusting. Hey guys, did you see this shit with Izzy Daniels? Who? I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter who he is. What matters is apparently he likes jumping rope. Isn't that gay? Yeah, sure. Hey man, you want to see this video that I downloaded onto my iPod Touch? Oh no, come on man, don't make him watch that video. Believe me, you do not want to see this video. Well, I don't know. Maybe I do want to see the video. What's it about? Well, you see, there's two girls, but they only have one. So Izzy quits double dutch for a while because he's so ashamed of jumping over rope, even though he jumps rope while boxing. And so while he's on his little break, his dad actually stumbles across some of the posters that Rodney made. And for some reason, he is incredibly angry at Izzy for doing double dutch and getting bullied.
I found this.
You were snooping through my trash?
My house, my trash. Now, what's this about double dutch? Is this the reason your mind's not been in the ring?
But of course, they start fighting over boxing versus double dutch, and Izzy pulls the infamous line of, "This isn't my dream, Dad, it's yours."
You know, I don't even like it anymore. I'm just doing it for you. That's not fair. Just because you don't have a life anymore, it doesn't mean you need to take mine away.
You know, I think that I probably could have believed this if we didn't start off the movie with Izzy doing a bunch of backflips and shit. I mean, does this really look like a kid who hates boxing? Why are we fighting about this? Why can't he do both? Like, they even said earlier in the movie that it's okay for him to do both. So why are we now doing this whole like, oh, it's boxing or double dutch, you gotta pick one or the other, you can't possibly do both of them. So because Izzy is upset and he hates boxing so much, he goes to his dad's boxing gym so that he can work the bag and get some of his stress out. And this is where we run into girl boxer Tammy again. And she delivers the thesis for this entire movie along with this random man who is always hanging around the gym for some reason.
Imagine if I listened to every stupid comment you and your boys made about me. You think that I'd be the best girl boxer in the city? People make fun. I figure that's their problem.
Listen to her, boy. Tammy's got a good head on her shoulders.
Izzy is so blown away by the concept of doing things that make him happy instead of other people happy that he tries to run out of the gym so that he can go and apologize to Mary. But before he's able to, he is stopped by Rodney, who wants a rematch because apparently doing double dutch makes Izzy a shitty boxer now, and because Rodney is so more super manly, he can win. Izzy decides to take him up on it, and wouldn't you know, double dutch has somehow made Izzy a better boxer, even though he could do all of those flips beforehand. And because we're at the end of the movie, that means that Izzy is now supposed to have grown and be a better person, and he wants to be friends with Rodney now instead of enemies.
I'm sorry about your dad. Man, I'm sorry I beat you. I'm sorry you're so angry, man, but I'm not doing this with you. Man, we have both got a lot of things to be mad about. But fighting isn't gonna make it any better. There's more important things.
Yeah, this probably would be more impactful if 30 seconds ago, Izzy wasn't saying shit like this.
Won't change the fact that I already beat you. You think that if you beat me now, it's gonna change the fact that your daddy's out of work? Or did everybody hear that just think if he was a loudmouth bully?
Yeah, you tell him, Izzy.
This is the fastest character growth I've ever seen in my entire life. Izzy literally went from everybody in the school hates you to why can't we be friends in the span of a single schoolyard fight. There is only 20 minutes left of this movie, which means that we are getting to the final competition, and the Joy Jumpers are screwed because they have a fourth person, but they're super not good. But they are saved when Izzy shows up at the last possible second. This wouldn't be a movie if people weren't showing up at the last possible second. There are 3 parts to this competition. First, you have to do as many steps as you can in 1 minute, which is what the Joy Jumpers win. Second, you have to do 3 different moves, which the Dutch Dragons win, which means that it's all tied up and it comes down to the final freestyle competition. But before they go on stage, Izzy looks out into the crowd and he sees that his dad is there to support him, which obviously is very meaningful to him, and he feels good and happy that his dad is there for him. Even, I don't know why he's there. His dad didn't have any sort of change of heart. He is just there. And also, Rodney's there because I guess he was so impressed by Izzy's 30-second turnaround that he felt that he doesn't need to be an angry bully anymore. Now this point is a little bit crazy because their final number goes on for a full 4 minutes. At one point, they're not even jumping rope anymore. They're just full out dancing and doing boxing references, and I was like, whoa. Aren't you guys gonna get in trouble because you're not jumping rope? But then they get back into it. But yeah, this goes on for a while. And it's not a bad while because I'm actually so obsessed with the song that they picked because like I have been singing it ever since I first saw this movie, and I totally forgot that this song was from this movie. But yeah, I'm always push it to the limit till you're in it. Now something that I haven't really mentioned about this movie so far is that we have had a narrator, but he hasn't really contributed anything to the story so far. But right before we find out whether the Joy Jumpers win or not, the movie kind of breaks, and we find out that it's been Rodney telling this story to a group of kids the entire time.
Performance score.
What happened? Yeah, don't stop. Did the Hot Chili Steppers win? Did they go to state? Did Mary and Izzy fall in love?
Whoa. The Hot Chili Steppers went to state.
Why a bunch of 6-year-olds are at a boxing gym, I have absolutely no idea. But apparently Rodney loves Izzy so much now that he is spreading the word of Izzy to the tiny masses. Maybe I was really onto something with the kissing thing. Maybe the reason why he's a bully is because he has a whole bunch of internalized homophobia. Oh my god, I figured it out. But anyway, the Joy Jumpers do win, and the movie ends with Izzy and the girls trying to teach Izzy's dad how to do some double dutch. Aw, what a cute movie. What did you guys think of it? I do have to say, I do like this movie. There isn't really anything about it that I dislike, and I probably will watch it again at some point in the future for the fun nostalgia of it. This movie really does feel like a combination between High School Musical and Bring It On, which are 2 movies that were really big at this time. And I do really feel like this movie was kind of on the same level as both of them, even if it didn't get as popular and franchised the way that these 2 other ones did. Alright, that's just about everything that I have for today. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and let me know your thoughts about this movie in the comments down below. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, but besides that, make sure that you stay safe and have a fantastic day. Bye.